Hi, today I want to present this gorgeous Apollo IE replica for only $24,900. This perfect identical replica with an LS7 Corvette V8 twin-turbo 1,000 horsepower engine. This is a gorgeous replica and you can have it. It will take 6 weeks to assemble and 2 weeks to have it delivered to your home.
This is about to get real good. You just saw the video that is a part of just the latest installment, the latest twist in the big, winding, confusing road of what is the internet's longest running, biggest supercar scam ever. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna hop into how I stumbled across this with a little bit of story time. We're gonna talk a little bit about my research. I actually talked to the people behind it. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about why this thing is still going, how people are still falling for it, all that good stuff. But first and foremost, I have to be annoying. I'm sorry. You know, I have to do this though. Please, if you enjoy this video at any time, smack the like button. If you hate this video and think that it should be deleted off YouTube, let me know why in the comments below. And as always, remember to subscribe. And for the people who keep messaging me saying you're not getting my notifications anymore, you might want to check out that bell down below and make sure it says notifications on. So as you guys know, or maybe don't know, but I know I've definitely mentioned it, I work for Speed Society as a writer. If you're in the car community at all, there's a good chance you've probably heard of them. Not that they really have much of anything to do with this video, but I was doing my job for them. Every once in a while, most of the time videos are placed in front of me and I research the story and write it. Every once in a while though, I go out on my own and I find videos and content to upload to the site. So I was doing that and I came across this video of a really good supercar replica that was pretty cheap. I think it was in the $30,000 range somewhere. It doesn't really matter at this point, I guess, how much it was. But I looked at it, not that my background is really in supercars or anything like that, but I was like, wow, that's a good replica. Later, I found out that it was a good replica because it was an actual supercar, not actually a replica at all. The video actually did get me at first, though, I have to admit. Like, I briefly watched it without sound, and you just heard the sound at the beginning of the video, which really made this seem sketchy. But at first, I watched it without sound, so I added it to my list of videos to add to the site. And then on a second watch, I was like, wait a minute, that's a real supercar, and this guy's full of shit. We're gonna give these guys the long D-I-C-K of internet justice. Yeah, I just had to spell that word out because YouTube is like, they hate cursing now and they're just gonna put me under, so you know what I'm saying. So I went straight to the email that you saw in the video at the beginning of this and I wrote them an email, and the email went a little something like this. I saw your replica cars on YouTube. They look great. Of course they look great because it's the real thing. How would I go about buying one or looking at one? Where are you located for me to come and see one and test drive it? And what kind of form of payments do you accept? I'm pretty interested. Looks like you guys do great work. First of all, before I even reach out to this guy, if it weren't for the videos or anything like that, I can almost immediately tell that this is a scam because his name is AMG Custom, like Mercedes AMG. He emailed me emails me back from his Gmail address, and there's no name on it. His name is just AMG. So yeah, there's another red flag. Hello, how are you today? You mentioned you're interested in one of our replica cars. Please see our catalog at www.mercedesamgusa.com. Like, bruh, you aren't even trying at this point. Does anybody actually believe that your name is Mercedes AMG USA? Like, someone's gonna fall for that? Oh my God. A legitimate company would not name their company that because that is like the biggest intentional fraud, copyright, trademark infringement in the world. Whatever. Okay, I went to the website and I checked it out. Let me take you through their YouTube channel just real quick just to show you what's going on there. First of all, the first thing that you notice is the video I showed you at the beginning, which is saying that you can get an Apollo IE replica that's identical to the real thing with a 1,000 horsepower V8 twin turbo Corvette engine for 25 grand. Okay, first of all, I talked to them. And I emailed them and I was like, are these brand new motors? And they were like, yeah, they're brand new motors. So you're telling me that for the cost of what's less than building a 1,000 horsepower LS7, twin turbo LS7, You're gonna give me a whole replica car. Okay, whatever. We get to their YouTube channel and the About section. So first of all, they forgot to update their description. Chick Magnet Cars is actually one of their other names that they run this business under, just in case, you know, one of the scam names gets out. I guess they delete it. Chick Magnet Cars is one of the names that got found out. So there's that first. They have 9 million views. 9 million people have looked at this stuff. And out of 9 million, if their conversion rate is just like 1%, if they get 1% of the people to seriously inquire about buying cars, they could be making really good money. All the videos are about the same. They're different, high-end, very, very expensive vehicles that we could never afford, in the hundreds of thousands of dollars range, in the millions of dollars range. Sometimes they're a little bit more real, like GTRs or whatever, but it's all just craziness. And when I was looking for the website, I actually copy and pasted sections of it. I was able to come up with 3 or 4 different versions of the website. They go by the names of Super Replicas, Mercedes-AMG USA, which was the original one, and SR Foos Cars. All the same exact website with the shameless Mercedes-AMG trademark stealing at the top and the very 3rd grade font that they decided to use. Anyways, you dive into the website a little bit. They actually do have a contact number. I didn't call them because I figured I pretty much got all that I needed out of their websites and some stuff I'll talk about later. But as you see on the side here, first of all, actually, before I get into that, they have lots of videos on the website. I'm not going to put all the videos in here, but basically they took videos of real cars and real processes of people building cars and chop them together, use this friendly old man's voice in such a way that it looks like they're actually building these cars. But a very quick Google search, I actually determined that one of the first images that they used was from a company that was wrapping a Lamborghini Aventador SV, I think it was. And they just patch all this stuff together. They have pretty much everything from the Batman tumbler like you see here, all the way to Ferraris and Lamborghinis, and the one that I chose to hit them up, the McLaren P1 replica. Anyways, it has pictures, all this stuff, and a quick Google search of McLaren P1 brings up images that were used that are claiming to be the real thing. These, right away you find it. So there you go. Motor Authority, legit source, legit picture of the McLaren P1, and 100 other pictures of the same thing that is obviously not what these guys did in shop. Their website has a lot of spelling errors, a lot of formatting errors, a lot more red flags, but I guess if you're tunnel vision, you could still believe it, because a lot of this stuff, it's just, you get hyped up on, oh my God, I'm gonna get a replica of a supercar for 20 grand with a good engine in it that's probably better than what they put in half of these real supercars, if I'm just being a biased LS fan myself. And I'm just gonna get it for the price of what I could get, I don't know, a used Honda Accord for. They keep operating under different names, which is helping this operation to continue. It started off as Super Replicas and changed into a bunch of different variations of Chip Foos's name. You guys all know Chip Foos. He has publicly come out and said, I have nothing to do with this company, obviously, but they continue to use his name to this day. Basically, they just keep moving from site to site, putting up the same website under a different name, hoping that maybe they can find new people to scam. The rest of this email goes, he starts talking about purchasing and how they manufacture, sending them info. They're gonna create a bill of sale and purchase agreement, and I have to sign it and scan it back to them, and he tries really hard to make it look legit. And if you've never done something like this or bought a car or are not familiar with the process, you might actually fall for this. Like, that part's not bad. And then he says everything is by bank transfer. Like, bruh, that's rule number 1 of buying a car, especially a car sight unseen, is you don't do a bank transfer. From there, he says they're gonna make the car in 6 weeks. So they're going to build a tube chassis car from the frame up with a twin turbo LS7 in 6 weeks. Yeah. Or, this is the better part, we offer an in-house financing plan. This ought to be good. So even if I'm looking at the $30,000, $40,000 car, you do a small down payment of $5,000. They get their money and run the F away while you're waiting on your car. And then once you have received the vehicle that you'll actually never receive, you pay monthly installments of $250 a month for 60 months. I believe when I did the math on that, it came out to $20,000. And note, it's oddly specific, just because they get to the $5,000 part and they're like, we don't even really give a shit about the rest because we're going to be running away anyway. So whatever money goes in there that sounds cheap is what we're going to put in there. And you don't even need to give them your credit information or anything like that. you just wire them $5,000, and all that they need is your name, address, phone number, and then the information about the car that you would like to have built for you, allegedly. You just send them $5,000 and they send you this car, and then somehow miraculously trust that you're going to pay them back. And the one final thing to add to this thing, because I know I can't see these cars anywhere because they don't exist, I kept on sending emails with a couple of questions that also would always include something about seeing the car or touching the car, something in person. Do you have any sort of version that I could see in person before purchasing? Any local to me in Maryland that you have sold that I could check one out first? That was where, as you could imagine, the email correspondence came to an end, and I never heard back from them. But naturally, I decided to go dig a little bit deeper. And Jalopnik has actually featured these guys 4, 5, 6, 7 times before, and they've been doing this forever. The first email that I found from Jalopnik said, and this was dated 2015, that they've been at it at least 7 or 8 years or so. So at this point, it's a minimum of a decade. I was 15 years old or younger when they started doing this scam, and here we are at age 25, and they're still doing it and going strong. From what Jalopnik says, they actually have records and evidence of people who have fallen into this scam, and another scam that promises a franchise opportunity to sell these things, which is similar in you send $5,000 and we set you up with a franchise. People have fallen for this. They're getting $5,000 left and right, and it's ongoing. People, like, this is happening as you're watching this video more likely than not. Like, how is this even happening? How has this been going on a decade? I'm sure that somebody important knows about this by now. Why is it not shut down? As it turns out, the operation is based in Panama. And Panama, well, from what I was reading in my research, is riddled with crime and corruption. So basically, they pick the best possible place to be an internet criminal. Anyway, just to kind of expose the operation a little bit further, the man behind all of these little cute replica scams is named Daniel John Seppings. If you Google his name, you'll probably find a lot about him. Via Jalopnik, they describe him like this. He's an Australian-born, this is a quote, an Australian-born religious extremist, accused child molester, and mastermind behind the scam. So basically, these guys are all just hiding out in Panama. The police are corrupt. Jalopnik seems to think that they have the right people in their pocket to continue this operation. And as of now, there's no end in sight. Anyways, guys, that's about all that I've got this week. Leave your comment below. Tell me what you think of all of this and the fact that it's been going on for more than 10 years. Thanks for watching very much. I remind you, if you enjoyed this video, a like would be so much appreciated. It really helps to keep channels like mine moving in the right direction. Subscribe below if you want to catch more like it. And remember, ring that bell. Ring, ring, mother.